Hey up everybody, David here and welcome back to the Angling Giant YouTube channel. In today's video we're off to the fantastic Lindome Lakes for the very first time. A few of the lads that are fishing the TikTok Masters match at Lindome let us know that there were a rod only match today, so we've stuck a holiday day in at work and we're going to go down and gear to go. I've never fished Lindome, never once stepped foot on complex, but today's the day. So the car is all packed up. We're flying solo today, so the video is going to be a little bit different, but I'll explain that when we get to Lindome.
Thank you. Fisheries probably counted them wrong and I'll end up without a peg.
Choose which peg you want. Any good, Dave?
Well, that's not the best though.
So guys, as you've just seen, we've drawn peg 27 Loco. It were originally just going to be on Loco today, but there's 30 anglers turned up, so we're spread across Loco and Benny's. As I drew it out, the guy with the peg bag said, "Ooh, you're not going to have much fun there."
Well, that's not the best though.
So we're not full of confidence, but a few other people said, "Wind's in his face, we should be all right." Now, there's not going to be a lot of sort of live talking in this one. As I say, I'm filming solo today, so we're just going to have the camera on and I'll probably do a little bit of voiceover action. But hopefully we catch a few fish and get a bit of action on the old POV setup. So yeah, let's go get set up and see what Lindome can do for us today. Right guys, so here we are, peg 27 on Loco. I've had a few people tell me that it's not a great bank, not a great peg, but the wind's blowing in his face. So we're in with somewhat of a chance of catching today. It's his first time here at Lindome and I must say I am very impressed. I'm hoping you can still see me because that sun's bad. Very, very nice venue. So let's have a look at his peg and we'll have a look at his side tray as well. There you go. Very, very nice looking peg. It's an end peg so we can chuck down into that corner. Now I've got a few fish topping. It's going to be hard punching through that wind. But we shall see. We'll see what today brings. Let's have a look at that bait tray and then we'll probably get into the fishing. Really quite simple today. We've got some Fishery micros with some red and yellow sensate on it. 8s, 6s, corn, and as always, there's wafters. And that's all we're going to be doing. We're, I don't know if we're 15 or half an hour off time. I'm going to get camera mounted up on my head. Like so, there won't be much live commentary through this because we can't have, microphone and camera charging. So you'll probably just hear my voice recorded after. But, let's see what today brings. Looking forward to it. Let's get in. So here we are guys. Started off on Waggler, as you can see. Just using one of the Matrix hard foam Wagglers in 3 gram. Wind were making it really, really hard on day to actually try and present any sort of a bait in water. So we're just punching it out. But as you can tell by sound basically and ripple on water, that wind were absolutely battering us. Every time we cast out we were dropping a couple of meters short and your float were probably sat in water no longer than 10 seconds before it were being towed out of line. So what I decided to do when we realised we were having no luck out in front of us is just start watching down that left hand margin. I knew that's where I wanted to fish most of the day. It's basically the big open space. I had 2 people to my right and no one until after corner down to his left. So after a few chucks out straight in front of us, I noticed that there were a little bit of activity 2 pegs down from me, just in that pole line. So what I did, I started pinging pellets over there and decided to have a cast as tight to the peg 2 down as I could, because we'd seen a few tails. So quick chuck out and then a few catapults full of pellets up at top. Even feeding down here, obviously contending with my bait tray because I was too lazy to put it down, but even feeding down this side were proving difficult because wind were actually blowing pellets back onto the bank if I tried to feed up close. At one point, bloke sat on one of the pegs on Benny's Lake actually caught a few 8mm stuck back at head, so if you are watching this mate, I am sorry. But first cast down that side, we hit into what I thought at this point were a pretty sizable carp. I'm using an 11.5 foot waggler. It's a Ron Thompson. It's not a brand I've actually come across, but I've had this rod since I was a kid. I think even my dad or my granddad gifted it to me. Now, I have sped this bit up because this thing just didn't want to budge. I thought it were absolutely huge. I thought I'd hit into a great big margin munter first thing. I mean, it's a soft rod, but look at bend on that. Absolutely unbelievable. So it takes a little bit to get this carp to raise its head, but when it does, it's taking even longer than I thought. Here we are. It's finally getting up. I think in total this fish took about 6 minutes to land. So I thought, here we go, we're into a decent sized double figure carp here. Fantastic way to start March. I think I was the first person to catch that I could see. So at this point I'm thinking we're in for a right day here. We've hit into a massive carp to begin with. And no. I think I weighed it about £4. And just a hard fighting, absolute unit and monster of an F1 really in terms of strength. This is not what I expected to be on hook. Like I said, just weighing it on scales that we've got attached to us landing net here. They're not exactly accurate, but they have stopped me from going over any net limits. It gives you a bit of an idea as to what you're putting in. So straight back down into that margin, I thought I've hooked straight into one here. It turns out, nope, that wind has blown me straight onto bank. So a little bit of Benny Hill theme tune, and well and truly, I couldn't even find where I were up to, so I had to set rod over, set it out, walk a shame down bank, nothing more embarrassing than having to unhook yourself. So because I knew Waggler weren't going to do out for us, we had a chuck with method feeder. I'm choosing a medium 30 gram Preston ICS hybrid feeder down there. Really starting to enjoy hybrid feeder rather than method. I seem to be having a lot more luck on them. I think because you've got the sides, carp are forced to sort of feed from inside feeder rather than better bait that falls off, so I've just been having a lot more luck with them. Bites seem to be a lot harder, a lot more direct. And when you're fishing with sort of a small 6mm waft like our Tento, they just work a bit better than I do. They just work a bit better for me, really. Here we are into another one. But I don't think that's going to get as much weight in keeping that, is it? So I did find out very quickly that there were a lot of twigs down in that margin swim, and by a lot I mean a lot. A few times I'd cast out and rod tip it instantly, swing, so I'd strike, and it would just a twig or a bit of a branch been drifted in by that heavy wind. But nonetheless, back down there and actually into a fish this time. At this point in March, we are still pretty early in. I think we're about 2 hours into March by now, so I've not had a lot of fish. and we pegged 2 pegs down from Andy Sellers, who we fish alongside, and we spoke quite a bit at Airfields on their rod only, and he were catching really well on Waggler. So at this point, I thought I were absolutely nowhere near standings, just plodding along. We've caught 1 or 2. We're having a day. It's better than minute work. But as you can see, stamper fish that I am managing to get, they're not bad. You look at that for a carp, absolutely stunning. Now, I was told that there were some massive fish in Loco, so I didn't know if I were picking these close to double figure carp up and still falling massively behind, because obviously Andy's had quite a few. But there were no confidence, shall we say. But absolutely stunning mirror there. Did not want to be able to get hook out of its mouth light, but I don't think any of them mirrors do. So that one, I think I did that about £8, that one. Just weighing it, look. Now, I can't remember if that one were an F1 or a little common. Yeah, the stamper fish starts to get a little bit smaller now, but the only thing I could do is just persevere. At this point, I realised that everybody else were struggling. The only person I could see catching were Andy, because I couldn't see further away when you see results page where the weights came from on our pond. So I just thought, I'm catching, keep your head down, keep doing what you're doing. It's working to some degree. And this is where we got a run of skimmers. Now, this is a very good skimmer, that one. I'm not quite sure why I didn't film me dropping it in. But yeah, we get a couple of skimmers, which these bites were coming quite quick, actually. I think we're getting these bites sort of 5 minutes apart. So we're not going to complain at that. So guys, we're about halfway through the match now. It's 1 o'clock. Express, we've got about £18 on clicker, I believe. But a very nice carp, as you've seen. I think I'll have about £10 if I've guesstimated right, and just a few skimmers to top us up. It is quiet. Everybody's moaning that it's not really busy. The consensus is there's too many people on pond. I don't know how they're doing on pond behind us, because like I said, we are split. But yeah, we're catching, so we'll take it. Hopefully we're wanting to see that thing go around a bit more, but it's not. Hopefully you can hear me, because this wind is absolutely howling at the minute. We've fed probably half as sixes. Nowhere near enough micros, we're probably not recasting enough. But yeah, I'm going to get back at it now, and hopefully get a few more for you. Yeah, just another little skimmer. those are the little Preston ICS feeders that I've been using recently. The hybrid feeders, definitely one of my favourite tactics at present. And I've been having a lot more luck on that than I have with pole, which is a self-confessed pole angler. It's I never thought I'd see. Now, at this point in match, we're getting quite late on now, probably the last couple of hours. The method feeder weren't doing as well as it were, so I'd pinged quite a few pellets of her. So what I did, I dropped on bomb and pellet. It's a nice 4-inch hook length on that bomb. Casted it over where we'd been baiting up, and we've sort of seen instant results. And this is probably where, you know, the bulker as weight that allowed us to get the result that we did came from this bomb line. See, the F1s in here, they don't look big, but my god, can they fight. There are some big F1s in there, and I don't think I'd like to meet any bigger than that. Not with a soft rod. You saw it first fish that we caught. That were ridiculous. So I had to film that tech there because I'd not even noticed. So what had happened is the fish had took the bait and then swam straight in front of us. So I'd not seen the rod tipped at left. It just shot straight out in front of us. I think if I'd have left that a couple more seconds, that rod would have been off for a swim round Loco at that point. Yeah, look at the size of that. So at this point in match, I was kind of sat there, and I'm not sure you'll be able to pick it up on audio from the original video, but I was sat willing the rod tip to go around, sort of like audibly sat there going, please go around, we need a big fish, we need a big fish. And at this point, I knew I weren't far off Andy Sellers' weight. So the guy in between me and Andy said, "What you got, Donovan?" And I said, "I think I've got about £30." To which he replied, "Well, you're not doing bad. Andy reckons he's probably only got 40." So I was sat saying, "I need a big fish. I need a big fish." This last run of fish on bomb really did as well. It's a fantastic way to end your match where you've been putting a lot of bait over an area. If you just drop one solitary pellet, tiny little bomb, so fish aren't spooked, it kind of, they're not put off by amount of feed. There's a lot less there, and they're more inclined to pick yours up. Yeah, that Daiwa Ninja, 10 foot, really putting some work in there. Not quite sure what that left hand's doing there. There we go. Absolute unit of a mirror on bomb and pellet. Single 8mm pellet, tiny little 10 gram bomb, just down to his left hand margin. Obviously, we need a quick photo of it. And here it is. Absolute heifer of a fish. You imagine I'm 7 foot tall. I ain't got small hands, and that fish's head is just completely swamping my hand. I'll give that a quick weight. Now, on my scales, this showed in at £15, so I think I clicked 13 for it, just to allow for that wet, heavy landing net head. And that's end.
Guys, that's time. I have £50 on clicker. So we all know what my clicking skills are like. That could be anywhere from 40 to 60. Guy next to me reckons I've done enough to maybe be in contention for Lake, but we need to see what Benny's has done as well. I'm not confident. I've seen a few people catching, so we'll see. Hopefully we won't embarrass Sen's first time here. It's been an hard fought day. That wind has battered us. My face is red raw. Yeah, I'm tired. I won't lie. So we're just waiting for Wayne now. Hopefully I'll get some footage of that. And let's see if we've done enough.
So guys, have we done enough? So at this point, unfortunately, we already knew that there wasn't going to be a win for us today. They'd weighed Benny's in first, and there'd been some sort of low 70s and high 60s. So we knew we weren't in for a match win, but we were still hoping to try and get the lake, or very least our section. Mr. Sellers had weighed in just before us, obviously, because he was to us right, and he'd weighed in £43 something. Once weighing in's done, I'll pop them results back over because I have forgot. And here we are getting it weighed, and it's an official £44 dead. So we knew we'd beat the two guys to his immediate right, but we still had no idea how that half of our pond had gone on. Here's me trying to pose with fish and absolutely messing it up. Must improve, Devon. That's terrible. Right, I'll get the results up now for you. There you go, guys. So on left, you've got results from Loco, which were our lake, and on the right, the results from Benny's. As you can see, on our lake, Mr. Sellers had got £43.13, and we did him by 3 ounce to get 44 dead to win our section. So on his first ever trip to Lindome, lovely section win, walking home with that brown envelope. As hope of winning Lake were dashed. Rome Fritzel, fantastic young angler, absolutely blew our pond out with £68. And then there were a couple of people beat us down that side as well. Not by a lot. We had someone beat us by 4 ounce, and then obviously a 53.10 by Rome's brother Logan. So well done to Bagging Brothers. As always, really good result from them. And then over on Benny's, we've got some fantastic weights on the Paul Wright took match out with £77.6, and Jason coming in with third at £62.5. But nonetheless, really, really good day for us. Really enjoyed it, and we're massively looking forward to TikTok Masters now in July. If you have enjoyed this video, guys, please consider liking and subscribing. It does help us massively. And I will see you next time.